Today, what I wanted to talk about was lending options for investing in property. Now, this is something that I am very passionate about. I love talking about lending and financing property deals because if you are able to get finance for your property deals, you're effectively getting a much higher leverage, a much higher return on whatever money you are putting into the deal itself. And that is where the money is made in property investing. My name is Thomas O'Regan, and over the last 3.5 years, me and my wife have built 11 property portfolio. And let me tell you, financing is the game. It's not above property. The way you want to get wealthy in property is financing. That's the thing that you should understand the most. And as I know this, I spend a lot of time in the financing space. I'm not a broker. I'm not a mortgage broker, but I speak to a lot of brokers, and what I find is there is just so many options out there in terms of lending that even brokers aren't aware of. And there is like, for example, this something people rarely ever do when it comes to financing residential property deals is entertain the idea of using private lending. But the difference between using the big four banks and private lending could potentially mean that instead of having to have a full-time job where you use to service the loan to get the debt to acquire the property, in private lending, if you really dig in, you can find lenders that will lend you the money for the property regardless of the fact that you have the job or not. Now, I didn't find this out on purpose. I found this out by accident. And the reason I'm diving so deep into lending is because something that I just keep banging on about over and over and over again. It is a financing game, not a property game. Get the finance, find the finance. There is always a way to get the finance for the deal. You just have to look very hard. So, for example, if I am someone looking for a property and I have, say, $300,000 and the property's worth $1 million, a normal bank might require something else apart from $300,000 from you to put into the deal. They might require you to have a full-time job with an income of X, and X might be like a 5 times. Generally, banks want to see 5 times your debt to be no higher than 5 times of your income. So, for example, if I had an income of 150,000, they wouldn't want to see my debt levels any higher than 5 times of 150,000, whatever that is. Now, that's just a normal bank. Understand there is so much more options out there than normal banks. As I'm talking, I'm trying to hint, I'm trying to give you the impression, I'm trying to make you understand there is other lenders out there, there's private lenders out there, and they don't require that one other thing that is stopping you from buying an investment property, which is your income. They just say, hey, you bring the cash, and we will give you the loan. That's all that's required. So you just require the two things: the property, which is called the security, and you require the cash to put into the deal. Now, a lot of people think that they need to work forever at their job 40 years because of this belief that you can't get lending unless you have income, unless you have a job. If you look outside of the box, there is other lenders that you can use. Now, in this video, I just wanted to make it clear to you guys, if you have the will, then there is a way forward. You just have to look. Speak to brokers, speak to private lenders. If you go down that rabbit hole, you will find you can do much more than you thought you ever could in terms of lending, and as I'm finding right now. Okay, if this video was helpful at all, please just give me a thumbs up or a like or a comment, whatever. And if you want me to talk more about this topic, just say something in the comments and I can do a follow-up video. See ya. Bye.